Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Alexandria, my medieval island. Today we're going to be doing a very exciting challenge. If you haven't seen on Instagram and even YouTube, people are trying the 3x3 challenge everywhere. This means that you create a tiny little area, 3 tiles by 3 tiles in game. It's basically a little mood board, which
Y'all know I love a good mood board.
So basically, it gives you a chance to explore themes that you don't necessarily have room to explore on your island. You don't have to download 1,000 codes to find out if you like them. You just need a few different items to fill up 9 tiles. That is right up my alley because I love themes. So let's get construction started. I'm gonna go off camera and we're gonna try out this challenge. We'll see how many we can do. I put up a poll on my community tab the other day asking you which themes you would like me to do, and y'all came through. Astoundingly, you wanted me to do forest core, which I'm kind of surprised by, but I'm here for it. So there were a few specific requests or calling out specific themes in the comments for help with European cities. So let's start with the European city because it is closest to the theme that I'm doing now with the medieval look. So this was my first attempt. They do get better, I think, as I went on. I kind of got into the mindset of the 3x3, but to start, I used a lot of 2x1 items. So these are kind of wider items. All 3 of the items that I put down so far, the medieval building side does end up coming back in like right now because I realize it just looks a bit open on the back. I do use the medieval building side in this one, and then I use the castle gate in another one, and I would say like it does frame it out quite a bit. But with the addition of this little book stands on the side, I think that is all that I do. Oh, no. Do I add anything? No, I center that. And then I attempted to add a tree on the back, but because it clips through the medieval building side, it didn't really work. And I was hoping that the present might land a little bit closer to the build. I think that if I had moved that if I had the wagon over one space, it might have fallen to the side and that would have been like perfection. But I left it there for a bit just to see if that would be cute, but end up picking it up right now. And with the addition of a little chiflera behind this iron garden table, that is our European inspired 3x3 build. I think that the color of the medieval building side that I use really lends itself to more of a European kind of feel. And we moved on to our forest core moment. So I actually ended up not putting down any pathing to start, any in-game pathing, and I just went with custom designs. But I end up taking the whole thing down after I build one variation of it, and I put some light dirt path underneath, and I think that kind of helped to ground the whole build because the snow was throwing me off a little bit. And Forest Core was far and away the most requested theme for this 3x3 challenge. And I think that's just because Forest Core is a very flexible type of island theme that you can incorporate into almost all of your islands. Like almost all of your items can have a Forest Core area, and being able to work with natural items and trees and bushes and flowers can make any island really pop. So I think that the principles that I'm exploring in this little 3x3 are very useful for any theme, including my own actually, because I am planning on doing quite a large area of a forested kind of a woodsy mysterious place on the left hand side of my island, and I think it's going to feel actually very similar to this. This is like my first rendition, of course, where I had the snow path still underneath. And as I was trying to take pictures of it, I realized, you know what? We gotta readdress this. We gotta put some light dirt path underneath. So once I had some light dirt path, I put the tree onto the other side of this build. Thought I'd mix it up a little bit. We went in with the natural things first. And I wanted to throw a bush on here as well, but I didn't quite plan out for that initially. We do end up removing some of the path. It's crazy how when you're working with such a small space, like every single square counts. And I never really focused too much on the particulars. I used to get really caught up on exactly the placement of every little item, and this challenge really kind of forced me to think like that again, to really pay attention to every little detail of how these items are working together. And it kind of like, I think it kind of inspired me again, especially working on this one. I think I had a challenge with it, and I wasn't expecting the natural one to challenge me this much, but it really did. And I feel like I have an all new respect for people who really create like tiny little spaces with a lot of detail. I tend to go for like big spaces with symmetry, and Papagayo is a lot more natural, but this particular little forest core vignette is even more natural, I feel, than Papagayo is, surprisingly. Well, I guess it's just natural in a different way. Anyways, I love the bunny. I love the mush items being a little accent, and I also really enjoy having two different cosmos. So I really jam-packed this one full of little special items, and I think it's going to be awesome for my forest core area as well. Maybe I'll recreate this little vignette somewhere. And so we moved on to another vaguely European inspired build, and that is going to be our sweet candy cookie bakery vibes. This one actually rated pretty high, and it is a theme that I have been very interested in for a very long time. So I found this very brightly colored strawberry chocolate tile. I had ahead of making these builds, made sure that I had items that kind of went with these themes. So I had gone to Cyrus and got some things customized, like this castle gate, and you could see the pink colors just like don't match up at all. So I had to go back to the drawing board and get another chocolate path because I was determined to use a chocolate path. But this creator actually also had this very pastel brick, and I ended up using that. Spoiler alert. I can't really say spoiler alert after I've already done something, but you can see it's still very bright. I think it could work with the medieval building side there or with the castle gate, but I think you would have to have it like be a pretty consistent thing throughout your island in order for that to be really effective. And I was going for kind of a Parisian look, so I added some contrast to the brick by putting a wood path underneath, and then I put in the covered counter and a street lamp on the back. This one came together pretty quick because, again, I'm using pretty wide items. I'm using two 2x1 items, which make it pretty big, but this covered table with the little Berliners on top, I cannot. Like, it just gives me such European vibes. I tried to use a wooden chair to match the covered counter, but it's just a slightly different color of wood. And a little fun touch, I tried to add a Mrs. Flamingo in there as well, and it didn't quite work. But I think, again, if you had more room to explore a lot of these concepts, you could definitely add a Mrs. Flamingo into this kind of a build. But there you have it, my little sweet bakery. I kind of went for a European Parisian style bakery kind of thing here as well. I love the Iron Garden furniture. It's one of my favorite furniture sets, so I love to see that chair there. And it also actually gives me like Glenny vibes. Like if Glenny was a 2.0 island, my first island was a 2.0 island, I feel like it would have looked a lot like that. So it was kind of close to my heart, that one. And we moved on to our final theme, which is going to be a kind of city core, but like an Asian style city core inspired. So on the list of options in the poll that I presented, there was like a K-drama one, and a couple of people requested like Asian cities. And I thought just a little city core build might be kind of just the different flavor that I need to explore for this. And I've always been eyeing this particular road path, so I had to download it. Again, all the codes, I guess I didn't say that at first, but all the codes will be down in the description if you are interested in any of them. This road path is like amazing. I need to use it on an island at some point because it's just so perfect, especially over top of the stone. It really looks like a broken up road. I don't even know why I put that one corner up at the top because you can't even see it now. But back to the matter at hand, I used a retro transportation stop turned backwards and an ABM, and I thought I could get away with a curved street lamp. I think it's actually a really cute touch like this, but there just aren't enough squares in the 3x3 to allow you to really do things like that. Like you can't really, I don't know. It was cute, but there was a lot of vertical items, and I feel like when you add too many vertical items, it just seems like forced. For me personally, that's how it kind of goes. But this was my first little rendition of the city core with the wind turbine in the back. Then I moved everything back and I started to incorporate some of this park fencing, which I'm really happy about. It's really fun to do this kind of a challenge because we all accumulate items from every theme. Like, it doesn't matter what theme you're doing, you're going to get a balloon that's going to give you like something totally random. The other day, for example, a hospital bed fell from the sky in a balloon. So you just get random items like that. Like I get random cruiser bikes for whatever reason, even though they don't go with my theme. If they show up in Nooks, I will buy them. And I think that that's the different mindset that I have on Alexandria, this new island, is I am going to go for more of a complete catalog so that if I want to flatten this island eventually, I have like an arsenal of items ready to go and ready to explore a different theme if I want. So this was my final rendition of the Asian city core vibes. I'm really happy with it. I like the simplicity. I like the road path, the little detail that it adds, and that ABM is perfect there. All right, everyone. So that was my take on the 3x3 challenge. Here was my European kind of an academia vibes. And then we have our forest core buddy. This one very much inspiring for part of my island actually that I want to have be more like that. Here is my sweets, candy, and bakery themed area. A lot of people were requesting things from Europe, so I gave a little bit of a twist, and this is like a European bakery, like super fancy. I'm actually obsessed with this one, but I think the simplicity of it is probably my favorite thing about it. Then we have our struggle bus, our little extra one that I threw in here for you guys, which is like a city core, basically like an Asian style city core. This could be like Japan. I feel like this could also work for like my Korean drama inspired island idea that I had. I really like the cruiser bike. I like the transportation stop turned the other way so you get that signage on the back and kind of that sheet metal look. Really cool. The fencing, excellent. And this pathing is actually really, really good too. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite, and if you are planning on trying this out, I highly recommend it because there might be some themes that you just want a taste of, but you're not really wanting to do an entire island dedicated to it. And this is a way of trying to condense it, trying to like distill the essence of a theme down to 9 tiles. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.